82, you stop worrying what people think of you, and you start worrying about what kind of country your grandchildren will inherit. My name is Philip. I've lived through ration books, black and white telly, the Cold War, miners' strikes, and more prime ministers than I can remember. They'll tell you a digital ID is just a harmless way to prove who you are. On your phone, quick and easy, to cut the faff. But behind that little app or number sits a whole network tying together where you live, what you earn, what you buy, where you travel, even which services you use. It's not just a card. It's a system that can make you legible to the state in a way ordinary people rarely think about, until it's too late. Once it's built, it's very hard to turn off. This isn't the first time we've been down this road. During the Second World War, every British person had to carry an ID card and show it to police or soldiers on demand. Most people accepted it because there was a war on. But after the war, something important happened. By the early 1950s, people were sick of being stopped and told to produce your papers. After a famous court case over a man who refused to show his ID when he wasn't accused of any crime, the government scrapped ID cards. They decided that in peacetime Britain, people should not have to prove who they are just to go about their everyday lives. And Britain wasn't the only place where papers mattered. In the Netherlands, under Nazi occupation, the authorities kept very detailed records of the population and issued strict identity cards. The Jewish population was carefully registered and mapped. Lists and address files showed exactly who was Jewish and where they lived. Because of that, the Nazis were able to find and deport the vast majority of Dutch Jews with chilling efficiency. A higher percentage of Jews were murdered there than in many neighboring countries, partly because the records and ID systems made it so easy to track them. That's a brutal reminder. A system built for order can become a weapon in the wrong hands. Now the same idea has come back wearing a shiny digital coat. The government talks about digital ID as a way to tidy up paperwork, fight crime, manage migration, and make life simpler. But once your whole life is tied to one digital identity, the possibilities change. You move from show your papers at a checkpoint to scan your phone for work, renting, banking, travel, even going online. Older people without smartphones, the poor or those who struggle with tech, could find themselves locked out of basics. And the more services it links to, the easier it becomes for some future minister or official to say, cut them off. I look at that and think, this isn't just about convenience. This is about building infrastructure that future governments can use for whatever they like. At my age, you see a pattern. Powers granted for one reason are almost always reused for another. In other countries, central identity systems have ended up tied to banking, travel, and social media, making it easy to punish people economically for what they say or believe. When I was a boy, my father told me, freedom isn't just what's written in the law. It's what you can do in practice without anyone watching. Being able to walk into a shop, get on a bus, or speak your mind in the pub without first passing a government check, that's real freedom. A permanent digital ID risks turning everyday life into a series of checkpoints, visible or invisible. I'm not against technology. I use a smartphone. I talk to my family on video calls. But there is a line between tools that serve people and systems that make people serve the tool. If you are younger than me, and most people are, I'm not asking you to be afraid. I'm asking you to be awake. Ask questions. Who controls the digital ID system? What happens if you say no? What happens if one day a less trustworthy government takes over? In the 1950s, Ordinary British people quietly pushed back and got rid of ID cards. They chose a bit of untidiness over a life of constantly proving themselves. So this is my lasting lesson. From an old man to those who will live on after me. Convenience is cheap. Freedom is not. Never trade away the right to live your life unscanned and unscored, just for the promise that it will be easier. If you found this helpful, share it with someone younger than you. And if you're young, talk to someone older about what it felt like to grow up in a freer time. Our stories might be old, but the warnings are very, very modern.